Black Hollow, a quaint town shrouded in mist, nestled deep within the woods. But beneath its idyllic charm lay a chilling secret, one that would shock the nation to its core. This is the story of Marcus Kane, the man who would become known as the Butcher of Black Hollow. His crimes weren't just about murder, they were about control, torment, and unbridled evil. But how does a boy become a monster? Born in 1984, Marcus Kane's life started like many others, but cracks appeared early. Raised in a broken home, his father, a butcher, was an alcoholic prone to violent outbursts. His mother, an absentee figure, worked long hours and left Marcus alone to fend for himself. By the age of 10, Marcus was already displaying disturbing behaviors, mutilating small animals and obsessively watching his father carve meat in their dingy kitchen. His fascination with the anatomy of living things would only deepen. Marcus's descent into violence escalated rapidly. His first kill came at the age of 17. His victim, a homeless man who frequented Black Hollow's abandoned train yard. Marcus would later claim this was an experiment, a chilling statement that hinted at his methodical, sadistic nature. After luring the man with promises of food, Marcus struck with surgical precision, using tools he'd stolen from his father's butcher shop. He then dismembered the body, leaving parts scattered across the woods. This grotesque crime would go unsolved for years. Over the next decade, Marcus perfected his craft. His victims were chosen with care, individuals on the fringes of society, unlikely to be missed. Each kill became a spectacle of cruelty. He would stalk his victims for weeks, learning their routines before striking. He even left cryptic clues at some crime scenes, a chilling calling card that would later baffle investigators. Victim 1, a young waitress, found in her own home, posed as if she were asleep, but with precision cuts that mirrored those of a butcher. Victim 2, a local mechanic, his body discovered in the woods, bound with ropes Marcus had expertly tied to leave no trace of struggle. The butcher was playing a game, and Black Hollow was his board. By 2010, Marcus Kane had earned his nickname, the Butcher of Black Hollow. A wave of fear gripped the town as bodies piled up, each more horrifying than the last. But Marcus wasn't invincible. A single slip, a scrap of fabric caught on a barbed wire fence, would finally give police their first clue. Forensic analysis matched it to Marcus, who had been living in a secluded cabin outside of town. When police raided the cabin, they found a nightmarish scene. Walls lined with tools, macabre trophies from each victim, and a journal detailing his every crime. But Marcus wasn't there. He had anticipated the raid and vanished into the woods, beginning a manhunt that would last for weeks. Marcus was eventually apprehended after a tip from a hiker who spotted him near a riverbank. His capture was as dramatic as his crimes, a tense standoff ending with Marcus's eerie smile as he surrendered. During his trial, Marcus remained defiant, showing no remorse. In fact, he relished the attention, describing his crimes in chilling detail. The courtroom was packed daily as the nation watched the Butcher of Black Hollow finally face justice. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole, but his story remains one of the most haunting in modern history. On October 15, 2011, Marcus Kane made a brazen escape from Black Hollow Maximum Security Prison, a facility believed to be impenetrable. Using his charm and cunning, Marcus befriended a new guard, manipulating him over months into smuggling tools. Armed with a stolen blade and a makeshift key, Marcus initiated his plan during a storm that knocked out the prison's power. The escape was meticulously calculated. Marcus incapacitated the guard, disguising himself in the man's uniform, and walked out amidst the chaos. By the time the alarm was raised, Marcus was gone, leaving behind a chilling message scratched into the wall of his cell. The game isn't over. After his escape, Marcus vanished, using his meticulous planning and knowledge of survival to evade authorities. Investigators believe he spent months living in the wilderness surrounding Black Hollow, occasionally infiltrating nearby towns to steal supplies. His uncanny ability to blend in made tracking him nearly impossible. Several sightings were reported: an unkempt man buying supplies at a gas station, a stranger staying overnight in a barn. But by the time police arrived, Marcus was long gone. Each time, he left small, taunting clues: a lock of hair, a cryptic note, or a blood-stained item belonging to one of his previous victims. By 2012, the FBI had taken over the hunt for Marcus Kane. A task force was formed involving behavioral analysts, survival experts, and local law enforcement. Profilers described Marcus as highly intelligent, meticulous, and driven by a need for dominance. Despite their efforts, Marcus remained elusive. Authorities searched abandoned buildings, questioned known associates, and even launched a public campaign offering a $1 million reward for information. But Marcus seemed to stay one step ahead. Each lead turned cold. Each search came up empty. Marcus's arrogance became his hallmark. He began taunting authorities directly, leaving chilling letters at crime scenes, signed with his now infamous nickname, the Butcher. These notes often mocked investigators for their failures, daring them to catch him. One letter, found in the home of a victim, read, "You can't stop what you can't see. I am everywhere and nowhere." Another included a map, leading investigators to a shallow grave containing the remains of a victim killed years earlier. It was clear Marcus wanted to remind them of his history, while asserting his dominance. In 2015, authorities came tantalizingly close to capturing Marcus. A tip led them to an abandoned factory on the outskirts of a small town. SWAT teams moved in, finding evidence that Marcus had been living there: a sleeping bag, canned food, and his signature journal. But the Butcher had fled just hours before. In a chilling twist, police discovered cameras Marcus had set up around the factory, monitoring their approach. He had been watching them the entire time, and when he felt they were too close, he slipped away. As of today, Marcus Kane remains at large. His story is a grim reminder of how evil can adapt, survive, and thrive in the shadows. Over the years, sightings have been reported across multiple states, but none have been confirmed. Each new murder with similar hallmarks brings fresh fear that Marcus is still active, still hunting. Law enforcement officials warn that Marcus Kane may be closer than anyone realizes. The Butcher of Black Hollow's reign of terror continues to haunt a nation. The Butcher's escape has left an indelible mark on the nation. While many hope he's dead, others fear he's simply waiting, watching, planning his next move. Will he ever be caught? Or will his story remain an unsolved nightmare? One thing is certain: Marcus Kane has become the very embodiment of fear, and his shadow looms over us all.